Hey there, this is your first lesson video. It was a pleasure to meet you. We talked about primarily how to hold the guitar, and I've attached a video called How to Hold the Guitar, so check that out. So that'll have us, roughly feet on the floor, shoulder width apart, arms swung around the guitar like this, not out in front of it, and your left hand won't be holding the instrument up. So we'll find ourselves in this position. Great. So the biggest change is using a pick. And like we talked about during the lesson, the reason that you move towards using your hands is because it gives you more control over the sound, rather than it sounding like. The good news is, if we just use that wider range of motion, then we get either way. And while there are things we can, do with our fingers, there's things we can really do with picks. There are any number of things we can do either way, but especially since you are using fake pick as opposed to your thumb or something, we might as well just go ahead and get used to using a pick. We are going to hold it like this with about that much of it sticking out. It's not on my knuckle, it's between my fingertips. If you find yourself using your second finger to support, that's okay as long as you don't switch to it by accident. I'm just bringing that up because a lot of people do. Great. So why don't you grab any chord, G, E minor, something with 6 strings, and be sure to memorize the names of the open strings also if you haven't already. E, A, D, G, B, E, but I think you probably know that. Cool. So here's me strumming. I am going to be like a golf swing, one fluid motion that hits all the strings with the same amount of velocity, hitting them all with the same amount of attack is how we refer to how hard we're picking in guitar. So that's what we're after. Not line my pickup here, but you could think of it as a wind up. And accordingly, why don't you pause your video right now and just work on what we referred to as rhythm 1, if I wrote it down as such, but just getting used to just down the strums with that new motion. You can play any chord you want to. Right now I'll just play E minor. So I really mean consciously thinking about focused attempts where you go, okay, I'm going to line my pickup here, try to get one good one, take a second, get back to where you're still consciously thinking about it, try it again, and onward like that until it starts to feel less mechanical, until it starts to feel like something where you think you're going to do it well when you go to try it. Because it's really tempting to just start going like, which doesn't give us enough conscious headspace to work on all of these technique concepts. Generally, that is how we're going to approach learning, breaking things into very small sections and finishing the material as we go. The complete opposite would be play everything beginning to end and hope to get better. This is more efficient. Cool. All right, so there we are. And then, you could just work on strumming down, up as well. And, we're just one single down, up. Same situation like that. So please pause your video and wrestle with that for a while. Great. Let's look at this song that you brought in. I know it's up a capo at the 3rd fret. I'm just going to play it in standard if that's okay. So we were going. Now that's not as cool as this chord, but we're just going to not have it was E minor. Yeah, yes it was. We're just going to avoid bar chords for the moment, and even if it sounds like not the song, that's cool. You could just play it down in first position so it doesn't bother you. And so it'll be. So since we end with that, you might want to use this G if you happen to not already know it, because it's so similar to the previous shape. I'm using all 4 of my fingers. 3rd fret, open, so like that. but you can totally just play it the way you have been. This G grip, the one you chose, is the most versatile because of the ability to go from C really quickly and an E chord really quickly rather than being over here like that. But in this particular song, we have the option of doing this. Great. And we'll absolutely add the bar chord in next time around, but you want to get way more comfortable, or excuse me, considerably more comfortable just playing rhythm guitar here in first position, in open position, before we start moving on to bar chords. And that's the good news is, literally not having the finger strength to do it is the issue, and we will get your hands stronger and then start including bar chords as well. So there's that. We introduced the concept of the open strum, that being the strum where in this case it's the up strum, that we actually use to get between chords. It'd be tough for me to go, so it's actually slow motion. And that's just what we're used to here. So, be sure you're actually using that time to do the chord change, not just like going like this or something. Also, reminder about your D chord. You've been going this, that's not going to work. So pause now, whatever work you've been doing, come back to the video, and now let's work on that change. So first of all, you could just go really fast. Try to just, right now, just go for it, like you don't care. And like ridiculous, you don't care if you totally miss the fretboard. Do that a few times. Cool. Now, a good way to trick ourselves into learning how to do chords all at once that we've been doing as I'll do this, then I'll do that, like a lot of people would with C or with G, they might go this, then this. You've been going this, then this. So if you start first finger, then put the other two. It's the only way that, aside from just saying you need to move all your fingers at the same time, to work on not going like this. You can also just track what each finger is doing individually, like my ring finger goes to here, my middle finger goes to here, and my first finger does that. Either way, we're just going to go ahead and finish learning that change, and we do have that extra split second open strum pause, or not pause, but left hand pause. So that's a pretty big chord change, and seems to be good for you to work on right now. If that's proving difficult, you could just do something like E minor and A minor that are similar shapes, or you could use G and C or something like that. Great. There is your alternate version of that song, and I believe we talked about all the technique concepts. Left hand wise, we want to be flush against the fretboard like this. Cheers. Not like this. This, and we're holding the guitar at a 90-degree angle, not out here like this. Cool. We also learned Nirvana, Come As You Are. It's, what did I just do? So positioning wise, if you went, I'm on the 6th string, and you put all 3 of your strongest fingers each on the 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret. You see what I'm doing? That'll get your hand and arm naturally in good position to play what we're doing right now. We're always trying to come straight in at the strings, just touching one string. And the good news is, we're not even using our 3rd finger in this song. It's all 1st finger, 2nd finger. Great. So when we go, we're not going with that seesaw like we're going. I'm pushing down 1 finger, now 2 fingers. As though we might go right back to that note. And that'll stay the truth, going, isn't. And part of that might be holding your guitar like this. Also, when you first started playing and your hands weren't as strong, you might have needed to shift your weight more than you need to now. So great. There is what we worked on today. I absolutely want you to work through this in little sections, finishing as you go, meaning get really good at that G to D change before you even move on to doing the E minor. And isolate your left hand and your right hand anytime you need to. And I will see you next week at the same time, sir. Looking forward. Cheers.